Alrighty, Act 4, Chapter 2, Part 2? I almost forgot to hit the record button. I was like, oh, like I started it up and I was like, oh god. But yeah, we did pull for Iris. Very interesting character, very interesting character. She did take me all the way to Gem Pity, so, you know, a little upset with her at the moment. But it's fine, I think she actually is worth it. She does provide a lot of unique, interesting things that, you know, it's good that a character has like their own identity when it comes to roles, and her role is very, you know. So I would like to say interesting. A lot of people would say busted, and you know I kind of have to agree too. her EX is ridiculous. Being able to copy just the damage outright from any party member is ridiculous. That's why we also brought the Bahamut summon. You know, we want to be able to abuse that as much as we can. Then the calls I just focus mostly on HP damage up. So, you know, we have Seymour, we have Dark Knight Cecil, who's 20%. And we have, there was one more, Laguna with his Coochie treatment. His LD debuff can actually increase the HP damage up depending on the number of debuffs. And that's super useful. Here we can't actually mitigate this attack that they're about to do to us because I forgot what the term I'm looking for is. Basically, Brave Freeze doesn't do anything about that, but we'll be fine. Between there's actually a lot of protection between these three units, and like for a long duration too. The Iris's BT effect, I don't know what they were thinking when it came to duration. Like, you know, you have characters like Golbez and Sephiroth who only get very similar effects for only 4 turns, and she does what both of them could do for 8. It's absurd. She gets like double the amount. Even like a character like Kurasame can only get like a 6-turn BT time, which we're actually going to use right here. But first, let's go ahead and get Laguna on. Get these debuffs. Stick that Coochie treatment on him. And we're actually just going to go ahead and BT effect real quick. And I think for Kurasame, we're actually going to use as the main FR. Just because it gives a 75% increase. And it's the highest that the whole party can reach, because this is fairly generic. Just hit ice and hit the hero stacks. And when we hit his FR time, he will increase these to 5 automatically because of his FR ability. So it'll be good to go there. Then we actually are going to use Rem's BT phase here. We only have enough room for like one more debuff, but it's fine. As long as the Rest in Peace is on there, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and AA. Yeah, and the interesting thing about Iris's BT into Rem's BT mode is her follow-up will actually happens like at the end of her turn. It's very weird, but it also allows us to re-break them all the time, so it's kind of neat. Yeah, this Siphon Sphere that happens right here, like once these guys unbreak, and hopefully they unbreak at the same time. They haven't unbroken yet. A little unfortunate, but it's fine. Here we're just gonna force charge. I think we can even bring Kurasame up. Damn, they haven't unbroken yet. I wanted to show this off. Feels bad, man. And I think we'll bring Kurasame up with her FR ability. Oh, I think they are breaking. I just it's hard to tell. Hold on, let me see. Do they unbreak here? They didn't. Feels bad, man. Ah, well, it's fine. The main part is, from what you can see, their turns are basically gone, and that's what we want. You know, the constant ability to just re-break with Iris is actually very, very good utility. You know, it's on Sephiroth, and his is only for 4 turns. Granted, you know, Sephiroth will do it every turn, or at the start of every turn, as opposed to Iris where you have to wait once, depending on if you do AoE or not. And it's just very handy to have. Very handy to have. I am waiting for, you know, when Golbez and Sephiroth do get reworks, because I think their BT effects get extended to 6 turns, and that's super useful. And we're just gonna get a ridiculous amount of Brave games with Rem's BT effect. It's actually one of my more used BT effects lately. very, very strong. Like, even in the launching comp, you don't need to bring other battery units because her BT effect will battery during launches as well. And it also makes her FR fairly generic as long as her BT effect is up. It is a very short duration though, you know, see only 6 turns between these two and Iris gets 8. It's a little, I don't know what they were thinking with that. But anyway, let's go ahead and FR time it up. And Kurasame should be dealing, we're going to be wanting to copy his damage the majority of the time. Just because of his LD follow-up. Hey, or I think it's his EX follow-up actually. The Ice Pillar. That right there. You know, the total damage there's 3 million. And I guess we could also show off Iris here right now. So that did 3 million damage, and this EX can actually copy all of that. Actually, instead, we're gonna use the early parts of our force time. I changed my mind. We're gonna use the earlier parts of our force time here to just charge the gauge, get it ridiculously high. And we don't want Rem to take that many turns, just because her BT effect is fairly short. Echo again. Yeah, because with high gauges and with the Bahamut summon, oh man, is it ridiculous. Then Rin being able to charge Iris' EX to full every time she acts is really useful. We are going to need to get the turn manipulation just right though. We're going to get this big damage. See that 7 million? We can copy all of that and then some. It's it's pretty insane actually. Let's go ahead. I did say we don't want to waste that much of her BT effect, but I don't think we're going to use all 6 turns for this one. I think this will be just a 1 force time run. With all these echoes. Oh man. Can we set this up? We have Iris into Kurasame. We want Kurasame into Iris. Ideally we want to switch these two. And luckily, Rem is very good with turn manipulation, so let's go ahead and bring our boy up. The thing is, she also has pretty high turn rate on her skills when she manipulates turns, so it does get a little funky. So sometimes warp up when you don't want her to, and that's always been the awkward part with Rem, like her being fast but having short BT duration. But I think that's fine. I think characters having like nuances like that, where it's like, oh yeah, she has this, but there's also this you have to play around. I think that's fairly cool. Oh god, they're getting broken out of order. They're not gonna be able to do anything to us though, like between Iris's BT effect and Kurasame's BT effect. The only these the hero stacks won't go down either. I don't remember if Ice Reaper does more than his LD, but I'm just gonna press Ice Reaper. Just because I like the animation on this. You just start slashing ice. Yeah, and the fight itself is actually fairly... it's not super dangerous. Yeah, which is a little bit of a letdown in my opinion. See, 13 million. And we do want to copy, or we do want to target this guy for the attack in particular. For this EX. And then we'll go ahead and... yeah, let's bring Rem up. And we're going to do that just so we could get Kurasame into Iris. We want that turn order. 17 million copy. Perfect. We don't want Rem moving up, so what we're going to do is we're just going to LD, because this actually doesn't have high turn rate. Most of her skills do, except for her LD, and I think even her Brave Plus might be high turn rate, which is kind of annoying. I don't remember if that's true, but I do know the rest of her base skills are high turn rate except for her LD. And her BT effect too. Wow, just straight up missed, huh? It's not like they're going to be doing anything. Look at this Iris BT effect that worked. Setting max Brave to 0, setting it, like, you could have just had max Brave to 0 and that would have been fine. No, they also had to set their attack to 0 as well. It's kind of messed up. Let's go ahead and get the LD damage. I don't remember if LD does more. All I know is whoever we target, that's who we want to hit. Because this follow-up is going to add on to the total damage, and that's what Iris is going to copy. And we still have 1 echo on her too, so that's kind of nice. That was 28 million. What would Plankton say? Or what would the Lobster Man say here from SpongeBob? Observe. And this order is actually perfectly fine. Let's bring Kurasame up. Just because I want to swap turns with Rem and bring Kurasame back up to copper so she can get her buff on him. That was a lot of damage. Holy shit. Here, actually, let's go ahead and Ice Reaper here. Yeah, these bosses are just melting. This fight was no issue. I think even without Iris here, I think the fight is fairly simple. Like, it's not super threatening. Let's go ahead and swap back to our boy. Yeah, see, Rem tends to follow. Rem tends to follow. I don't even, with all the damage we did with her already, we don't even need like the rest of the follow-ups. We could just kind of press buttons and do what we want. Like, he'll probably just die here. I think the summons are fixed too, so that's good. Wow, there was really not too much to this fight, huh? It's already over. I feel like that went really quick. I feel like I wanted to talk more about things, but oh well. Fight's over. Oh, I think there might be a mission quest today. I might do that recording after this one. But yeah, that's the run. Iris, kind of ridiculous. This boss wasn't exactly super spongy. I think it was only 175 million. A little less than what we're used to. Usually 200 million. But here, there you go. There's the run. No artifacts on her yet, but I'm sure there'll be an event soon. Take it easy, boys.